Okay, so previously we learned about segues and how to transition between them. So now we're going to actually pass data between the segues. So start off by creating a new single view application and name this pass data. Okay, so I'm going to set my view to 3.5 inch just to make it a bit smaller and easier to manage on my screen. I'm going to create a new view controller and set that the same. So I've got my two. So the way the view controllers work is that you need to have a new Swift file for each of the view controllers, and this is what controls it. So I'm just going to add in a text field and a button. Button label and say send. And now I'm going to create a segue by pressing Control and drag. I'll drag this over, and my action segue will be show. Okay, so I see that relationship's been formed. On my second view, add in a label. This will display my data which gets passed. And I'll add in some additional lines, so if you want to add a bit more text, that's fine, and I'll center it as well. And then I'm going to right click, new file, add Cocoa Touch class, and name this view 2. I'm going to make sure that the subclass is UI view controller, and of course the language is Swift. And make sure it gets saved to the same directory. And I can see that that's then appeared on the left hand side. So I have one view controller.swift, which goes for my main view controller, and then I have my view 2, which is for the second one. So I then need to link this up. So I need to go to select that little circle thing and go to class and select view 2 right down the bottom. Go to split view and create some outlets. TXT input, and then make some space and then add one for my button as well. Okay, then I need to do the same for my other view. Back to list view just so I have it full screen, it's easier to view. And I'm on viewcontroller.swift. I'll grab a new overriding function. The function we're going to use is a predetermined one, which is why we're using override. Function prepare for segue. We don't need to change any of the parameters here. So we let best view controller equal UI view 2. Segue dot destination view controller as view 2. Okay, then I'll utilize this new object. I'm going to get a variable from the other side and apply it to what's in the text box. I actually made a mistake here. I'm not going to use LBL text. I'm going to call it label text. Okay, we haven't actually created this yet, but this is referring to something which is meant to be in the other view. So I'm going to go back to the other view, and I'm going to make a global variable called label text, and I'm going to initialize that as nothing, but it is a string. And then in my view.did_load, when it transitions on the label text to equal this new variable value. Okay, and then I can run my application.